Hey, welcome back to Briggs on Books. Are you about to choose the next book you're going to read? Stand by because I have some suggestions for you. The Path series by a guy named Bald Solomon. Sounds like a wise man. There's 4 books. Besides the book, I just happen to have the author here as well. Welcome, Bald Solomon.
Welcome, hi, Mike. Thanks for having me on today.
My pleasure. Now, the book titles were kind of sounded inspirational, maybe ways such as this one, starting a new job. Tell us about the books, the series, Bald.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, thank you. So the Path series, first of all, they're just a bunch of action stories. They're fun stories to read, real fast, easy to read, with good, relatable characters. The twist is that in each case, a book covers a particular period in your life that's critical, that's transformational, like having a baby, starting a new job, getting married, getting divorced, critical times.
Yeah.
And these characters go through that and invite you to go through with it. So they're intended to be transformational. They really are.
By the way, thinking of all those titles, a lot of the things you mentioned, most of us go through once. We're brand new at it when it happens, starting a new job or having a baby or things like that. But there's other people who've gone before us that maybe we can learn from their wisdom.
Hey, that's a softball for me because you're exactly right. When I started this series, I chose my pen name, which is Bald Solomon, and my reasons is these are intended to help you through that once in a lifetime period, your wedding, okay, or your dad dying. And I needed wisdom. I needed to call on wisdom, and at least in my experience, the wisest man that I could think of was King Solomon. So I call myself Bald Solomon. The Solomon is for wisdom, and the bald is well, first of all, I am bald, okay. But it's an act of boldness. It's an act of really taking charge of. That's why I am. So Bald Solomon.
Who should read these books?
Who should read this? There's the typical demographics are the 30 to 50, but more importantly, it's people that are open to wanting to grow and change. They don't know where or what they will, but they recognize that they're in a critical portion of their life, and they want advice, but they don't want to be told. One thing I do is I ask questions. I don't tell you, so I let you inform yourself and make choices for who you want to be and how you want to get there. So those are our best readers.
Let me ask you about this one book I'm putting in the cover up, Path Unguided, Grieving Your Father's Death, something I have not had to face yet. And again, I'll go through it only one time in my life. And tell us about this book.
So first of all, very personal. So I remember exactly where I was when my dad died almost 30 years ago now. So it is a powerful moment and a powerful period. So that's my most relatable book right now. And ultimately, I can't change the fact that he died, but what I can do is help others through it and recognize that the actions they take and the thoughts they do set themselves up for the rest of their lives. So in that case, there's a powerful message that comes through that I want you to read it, but it really helps you think through, how do I want to use this event for the rest of my life? And that's what that book does for you.
Yeah. And again, it's something I'm only going to have to face one time, and muddle through it myself, I guess, or maybe get some guidance with a book like this, Path Unguided. By the way,
yeah, that is good. So all the book, I've got 20 books planned for the series overall. There's 4 right now, and how I chose the events or the titles is the 20 most stressful things that happen to you, okay, and typically only happen once. And those are the ones that I personally would want guidance, want help from people that have gone through it before. And there's a lot of resources out there for us, and this allows me to really boil down, but in a fun action story. It's just fiction. It's just a fun story. That's all it really is.
Yeah. By the way, there's those of us that are into growth, and we read what you might call self-help books or growth books or inspirational books all the time, and I never stop reading those. So of course these are the kinds of things I would read naturally. But first thoughts come in my mind is I know people I'm going to give these books to. I'm going to buy them and give them out to people who are going through things. So,
I find that a lot. First of all, I call them self-help fiction. Okay, the self-help is the transformational growth, and the fiction is just the story that is the delivery of it.
Yeah.
Yet you're right. I find a lot of times that when somebody's dad dies, it's too raw for them to want to process yet. But when they're ready, somebody will give them the book, and that's typically what I've seen.
A big one for me was becoming a dad for the first time. I knew zero about that. And
I will say, I titled that book Path Enriched, Embracing Your First Child. And I have one daughter. She's the joy of my life. And what I learned is she really does enrich my life. Okay, she's out of the house now. But having your first child is truly a transformational period. And that particular book almost has a mystical quality. Okay, there's a journey within a journey there that Delilah and Job go through as they ultimately have their first child. Great story.
Yeah, that's great. Now, one point I'm trying to get to is more for our audience is that when I go to order these books, I'm not going to click once. I'm going to order like 5 of them. Of each one at a time. Sorry, Bald, I'm not that rich, but I'm going to give these to people. I love to give people books. So you know what? If you give the people a book, it might help them, might reach them somehow. But in 5 years, they're still going to have that book at their house, which is a lot of fun. So,
well, thank you for that plug. Ultimately, when I get all 20 done, they're designed to be on your shelf with a visual that all goes together. So the idea that once you buy a couple, I really believe you'll come back and get the rest. Because first of all, you want to know it covers 4 generations of this fictional Boaz family. So you'll want to find out what happens in the bigger picture.
Yeah. By the way, for our viewers, I don't think we've talked about it on the air. Tell our viewers where you are.
Okay, so easiest way is baldsolomon.com. That's my website. It outlines all the books and outlines how to buy them. I'm on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everything. The other thing that I've gotten a lot of engagement with is Facebook. The Bald Solomon Facebook, I've got just in a very, very short period, over 5,000 followers now, and it's really gaining momentum. I'm using that as an outlet for short stories that support the book. So it's a good outlet.
So we might be able to get more of the story on this family on your website?
You absolutely can. Yeah, there's background that may or may not be in the book that helps you appreciate these characters.
By the way, we have your web address on the screen, baldsolomon.com. Instagram is bald.solomon. And what is the Facebook?
It is Bald Solomon, the Facebook /Bald Solomon, yes.
By the way, I did type Bald Solomon into the Google search this morning, and you don't have to worry about people finding you because they will. You're the only Bald Solomon out there, I must say.
Yes, and that's intentional because, again, it's a different genre, okay? It really is. It's trying to get you to appreciate and understand who you want to be, how you want to get there, and it's a delivery mechanism that's unlike anything else. It's just a story that forces you to think or encourages you to.
Bald Solomon, you're the kind of guy I could talk to all day because I enjoy this kind of discussion, but my producer's signaling me to get off. But I just want to give you a minute. Any last thoughts about your books or about you or life in general?
So each one of these books ends with a call to action. Imparting wisdom and transformation is good, but unless you take action with it, it's unfulfilled. So the last words in every book is the last words of this interview. It's intended to be a call to action, and what I say is, make it be so. So that's what I say to you, make it be so.
Make it be so. Okay. For our viewers, please go to Amazon if you like, or wherever you like. Type Bald Solomon. You'll see the books will come up. Go to the website, baldsolomon.com, and Bald Solomon. I feel funny calling you that, but that's the name. Thank you so much, and I hope you'll come back because you're the kind of guy I like to have on the show.
I'd like that. I've got another book coming out in the fall. Maybe we'll do it then.
Alrighty, we'll be back
Right.
with more authors right after this.